every day that
Yep.
it's hard to keep track of it. And I wish that the Democrats would have a more coordinated effort to like have certain people focus on these things, other people focus on those things, and then you have like kind of like a coordinator that checks in on, okay, how's it going over here? How's it going over there? What's happening over here? And then like once a week come together and go over the top 5 really awful things that are happening that the American people should know. It's almost the way that they orchestrated the January 6th committee hearings.
Yeah.
Right? It took a television producer to come in from the outside to coordinate all of that, the news director, so
Right.
that they could prosecute the case in a very orderly way so that people could understand it and get all of that, because there were so many facets to January 6th too.
Mhm.
And so how would you put it all together so the American people can have it easily digestible? That's what needs to happen here, because they need to take a lesson from the way the January 6th committee hearings were prosecuted. Because that, right,
Yeah.
the second impeachment, how certain like people who had skill sets as lawyers and prosecutors asked these questions. And then other people who were knowledgeable about whatever asked those questions, and they asked them in
Mhm.
order so that they could capitalize on top of this, on top of that. So you tell the story. That's what needs to happen here.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different facets of it that people should be paying attention to all of these outrages. The fact, you're right. Why do I know a lot about the federal prison system? Well, it's because I was a Hill staffer many years ago and worked on a commutation case for 2 Border Patrol agents who were wrongfully convicted and sentenced to 11 and 12 years in federal prison. I was their Aaron Brockovich kind of advocate for them. So I learned all about the way the Federal Bureau of Prisons works, all the way down to regulations about segregated versus administrative versus disciplinary segregation, which is what we know as solitary confinement, what you're allowed to have and what not. I mean, it was insane what I went through to advocate for those guys.
Yeah.
And to see what's happening with Ghislaine Maxwell, it is such an affront. There is nothing normal about this. The length of her sentence doesn't qualify her to go to a prison camp. All of these things are outside the norm.